Goedenavond iedereen. Good evening everyone. I'm so glad to do this evening tonight. I was so looking forward to it. In a moment I hope my guest will join me, and I hope my messenger will be quiet now. Good evening Cass Kelly, good evening Shane. How nice for you all to drop in. I'm just waiting for my guest to join. So I hope she will be in very shortly. Yes, she is. There she is, the big guest. So, after a lot of drama, we are going to have a very, very nice chat over here. No drama, nothing, just nice talks and very, very, very. Um, who ain't seeing me? Kelly, I don't know what it is. Um, Everyone else, do you see me? Otherwise, I have to start it all over again. Hey, Art. Hi, Samantha. Hi, everyone. Quit the messengers in the group from the PPP. And last breath, I try to add you. It's live again. I always have the same problem. Yeah, there she is.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm just trying
Had a
to.
nice afternoon in the sun. It's morning over there.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock
So,
in the morning, so
that's
early.
great. That's great. It's early, yeah, it is. But thank you for doing this with us. Um, Samantha is also saying thank you for coming in this show. So everyone over here in the Netherlands can see who Cara is.
Well, I'm honored that you guys actually invited me, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome. You do so much in the paranormal and in the spiritual world. So it's obvious to have you in.
Oh, well,
It
thank
is.
you.
You're welcome. For those who don't know you, uh, I did a bit of homework. You do healings. You cleanse the properties and houses. You're a light worker. You have your own jewelry with crystals in it.
Yes.
You actually go on ghost hunts, and you draw cards every single day.
Yeah.
So that's just a piece of everything you do.
Yes.
What can you what can you add to it?
Um, well, I mean, so a lot of what I do includes George, my husband. We're
Yeah.
kind of a team. Um, he's we don't really like to use the word medium because it's such a big word, but he's clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and claircognizant. So he can do things that I can't do, and then I can do things that he can't do. So we're kind of a package, I guess. And I was just joking
Yeah.
with him the other night that he's 52 and I'm 48, and I said, "Oh my gosh, our ages equal to 100." So like we're 100%. So it's kind of interesting, but so um what I do is I'm a light worker. I can clear negative energy. I can help spirits cross over. I can, help someone heal their energy, from far away. Like I've been able to help friends in Canada. So it's not, and I can, and George likes to say also I have magic hands, because, he has like if his back is hurting or his knees hurting, if I just put my hands on it his pain goes away. So I've never tried it on anyone else, so I don't really know if but I would love to. But you know and I like to and I just want to help people. My jewelry that I make it all with love and light and positivity. I it does really help. I made this necklace. It's clear quartz. I like to make all my jewelry with copper because copper is um, it's like an amplifier. It will amplify any of the properties of the crystals that it's near. So that's why I like to use copper in my jewelry. So I want to help people, and
Yeah,
that's why I do what I do. And I don't when I do a cleansing or a healing or a clearing, we don't charge anything. When George,
yeah,
does a reading, he doesn't charge. We do it because I feel that we were given these gifts for a reason. We were given these gifts to help people, not to get rich. So even when we go, like we don't do too many residential investigations. We do some, and we're very picky about the ones that we do. And we don't charge people. And most of the time, our clients have been charged by other, mediums or paranormal groups,
hmm,
and they didn't solve the problem. So what we like to do is we go in and we use our metaphysical gifts more than we do equipment. So George will use his gifts to find out, what spirits are there and why they're there. And then, then I use my gifts to help them cross over if they want to. You can't make a spirit cross over if they're
no,
not ready. And just because you cross over a spirit doesn't mean that they can't come back and visit. So we also empower our clients and we teach them how to, cleanse their house on their own. I actually give them a little care package with some sage and crystals and instructions on how to use them. Um, and then we also teach them how to live peacefully with a spirit if a spirit doesn't want to go. Because there are things that you can do, to coexist with a
hmm,
spirit in your house. We do it all the time. So,
yeah,
so we like to empower, we don't go in and do our thing and then that's it. Like if they have problems, I say, you know what, you can text me anytime and you know, we will help you until you don't need help any longer. And so, that's what we do. So we kind of, we really do truly help people. We don't just go in for our own benefit and, you know,
hmm,
get evidence and stir up everything and then leave them hanging. There's a lot of groups that will go in and do that and then they don't know how to help these people, and then that's where we come in. So that's kind of a little bit what we do. um, and we really are fairly new to the field. We've been dealing with this. We've been dealing with spirits in our house for God knows how long. And I have a very good friend who is an energy healer, and I had her on speed dial, like, oh my God, this happened. And so so finally she's like, you know what, you have the ability to do this. So she taught me how to do it. And ever since then, like I will call her in on if we have a case that I might need her help. So, but other than that, we have spirits coming in and out of our house all the time because I feel like George and I together are a beacon of light in the darkness to them. And they
yeah,
know that they come to us, we can help them. Even like my daughter, I know she has abilities. She's 23. She's kind of the whole reason why this all started. But she, and she gets very bad anxiety, and so she knows that that's when there's a spirit around. So she'll be like, "Mom, you need to clear me so we'll find out what's going on. So even like she just went and house sat last weekend, and
Yeah.
there was a spirit there that was messing with her. I mean, like she actually had to leave the house. She was so scared. She came home
Yeah.
and all of her clothes were out of her bag and strewn all over the place, and the TV was like, she turned on the TV and it was all the way up to 100, and so she couldn't stay there anymore. But we were able to help the little girl. Um,
Yeah.
so that's kind of in a nutshell what we do.
Yeah, many people do recognize it. For me, it sounds so familiar with my own daughter, screaming on top of the stairs, "Mom, they're back!" So yeah, I do know the thing, but not everyone over here in the Netherlands is familiar with it, or saying, "Yeah, I have that problem too." So it's a bit of a taboo still,
Yeah,
and
it is here too. Like my family and George's family, they don't
Mhm.
believe in what we do. They kind of think that we're dabbling in the darkness, but they
Yeah,
don't understand it. So we don't have any family members on our Facebook pages. We actually created a separate Facebook page for just family, because we're always talking about. I mean, it's not just a hobby for us; it's a way of life. Like we do
yeah,
this all day long. Even my employees at work, they know what I do, and they're even like texting me, Kara, oh my gosh, this happened to me. And so I'll be like, oh, like my assistant manager, she was telling me that she kept getting woken up in the middle of the night, and she didn't know who it was. Well, so we found out it was her grandmother. And so I said, okay, next time you feel something's there, get a recorder. Could be a tape recorder, your phone, you know, whatever. I said, and then, ask questions, wait about 15 seconds to give them a chance to answer, and then listen back. Well, lo and behold, she did that, and she got her grandmother saying her father's name, and her father was actually having some very bad health issues at the time. So, that's kind of what we do. Like, we'll be like, okay, this is how, and I said, okay, well, do you want her to go or do you want her to stay? And she's like, okay, no, I'm fine with her staying. So that's what we do with people too. It's like, just because you have a spirit in your house doesn't mean it's a bad thing. A lot
no,
of,
it isn't.
yeah, like here, we've lived in this house for a year. We have two spirits that are here, and they used to live here. So this is their home. So we are happy to have them here. We get EVPs from them all the time. George will see them, so, and our neighbors have actually told us, about them. And we've actually even helped a neighbor across the street. Her husband passed away, and, um, her and her daughter had been fighting a lot. And so I don't even know how this came up in conversation one day, but George was talking to the daughter, and it came up what we do. And so they invited us to come over to the house, and we George said, okay, before I go over there, I want you to hide all the pictures of your husband. I don't want to know his name. I don't want to know anything about him. So before we went over there, George kept getting this name that popped into his head. I think I forget what it is. It started with an H, but then we walked into the house, and they told us the husband's name, and it was the same name that George had got. And then George blurted out all this information that he had I would have no possible idea of knowing, and it was all
Hmm.
spot on. And so they were kind of like, oh my god. And so then we did an EVP. We went and did an EVP session in the room that he had passed away in, and we actually got an EVP of him laughing. And the daughter was like, oh my god, that's my dad, that's my dad's laugh. So it really put them at ease.
Yeah,
They actually have been getting along, and I cleansed the house. Um and then it was so funny because about a week later, the mom came across the street, and she said, you know what, I don't want him there anymore. Can you make him go? And I said, well, the reason he's there is because he feels that you need him. You can just tell him, you know what, it's okay. It's okay for you to go. Don't worry about me. And since all of that, they've been getting along. The mother and daughter have been getting along. Like, so it
Hmm.
really makes me happy to be able to help people in those kind of situations. And we just do it out of that's what we're here to do.
Yeah,
So there's no, we don't charge people for that.
yeah,
We don't do it for our own benefit. We were given these gifts, and that's why we're here.
yeah. I do it also all the time. I charge nothing, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want anything, not
No.
with cleansing, not with healing, helping with Reiki. It's all free, free of charge. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I see the bills
Yeah.
pass by from now to then, and they're amazing. Sometimes for cleansing around 150 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
It's a
I
lot.
mean,
It's
that's not right. And then, and I will give them the material so they can do their own cleansings, and I will teach them how to
yeah,
do it. Because I want people to be empowered and know how to do things like this, because it's, I mean, you should do it all the time, because you can bring negative, it's not just spirits in your house, it's negative energy that you bring from everywhere. You walk out your door and you could pick it up walking down the street,
yeah,
or on Facebook, with all this drama going
yeah,
on. It's like, so, I do our house on a regular basis.
yeah.
And I think everybody should. Um, that's just my thought. I mean, I even do it sometimes at work before everyone comes into work. So,
Yeah, yeah, I do have to protect myself when I'm at work because otherwise, at the end of the day, I will be drained.
mhm.
Everyone at my job knows it, and it's accepted. It's accepted fully,
Yeah,
and in my private life also. So I'm truly blessed. I really am. But the cleansing, yeah, I do it a lot, very much.
yeah, you
And
have to.
everyone should do it. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I wish our family believed in what we did more. I think George's parents are actually kind of coming around because, I mean, as you know, his grandmother passed away not too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a call come in. Um, so his grandmother passed away a few weeks ago, and she lived by herself, and my in-laws go to her house all the time, and we have to start cleaning everything out. And they went a couple weeks ago, and there was this pile of leaves in the backyard in the shape of a
The
heart.
heart shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and my mother-in-law took a picture of it for some reason. I'm glad she did. And she said that the leaves were not from any plant or tree that was even near that area. So she doesn't even know how they got there. So we believe that that was a sign from his grandparents, because his grandfather passed away about 30 years ago. And as it was a sign from them to let us know that they are together again. So with that happening, I really think my in-laws are really kind of starting to believe, more in what we do. I mean, George has had his abilities all his life, and his family's
Yeah.
Catholic, and it was very like he couldn't talk about it, so he just kind of pushed it away and ignored it until, about 6 years ago, when things kind of started happening at our house that he couldn't push it away anymore. So it's kind of nice to see that his parents are starting to open their eyes a little bit. My side of the family, on the other hand, they think it's evil. So I just
Yeah.
don't even talk about it with them. But it's like kind of sad, because nothing we do is evil or dark. I mean, we do
No.
everything with light. I mean, there are spirits everywhere. I mean, my husband likes to say, you can even find them in a gas station bathroom. Like they're everywhere. And it's nice to know that, when we pass away, there's still something. Like the reason why I got into investigating was a good friend of mine. Um, she was actually my client too. She had a business next to me, and she had spirits, and so she had the equipment, and she would go on investigations all the time. So she invited me to go, and I've always believed in spirits. I mean, I saw my first apparition when I was 12 years old. So I was like, okay, let's go. This is cool. So we got into it, and we would
Mhm.
investigate areas. And she got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and so she knew she was going to pass away. And she said, she told my oldest daughter, oh, when I pass away, I'm going to come to your house and open a door. And my daughter said, please don't. Well, she did. And she ended up leaving me my all her equipment. So the EVP that we like to use, it's a little bit older, but it was hers. It has a lot of sentimental value, and we get the best EVPs on that
Mhm.
recorder. I even got her saying hi, Cara, on that recorder. We were
Oh my
investigating
God.
the basement of the museum that is where in the city where I work, and she used to volunteer there. And we were with another friend of hers, and we were asking a bunch of questions. And plain as day, she said, "Hi, Kara," and me and her other friend were like, "Oh my God, that was her." And so, and George has actually seen her, at our house before. So, that's kind of how I got into investigating. And then, of course,
Mhm.
George always was like, "Oh no, I don't want." But then, he started having a lot of stuff happen, and so now his abilities are like growing every single day. I mean, before he used to just kind of ignore it or not. He used to doubt himself, and I said, "Don't do that. Like, if you feel or
Yeah.
hear something, like, you need to say it." So he's gotten a lot better, and the more he does it, and also, it's like it's hard when you're first starting out, because you know you're going to think that people aren't going to believe you.
Yeah.
We've been accused of faking EVPs. um,
Yes.
so and they claimed that it was George's voice. Well, apparently you're not a very good investigator if you don't realize that, number one, spirits can mimic people's voices. And
Yeah.
they also said, oh, well, it's always the same voice. Well, it's because we had a spirit in our house named Billy, and he would talk to us all the time. So of course it's going to be the same voice. So, and we actually have we get a lot of really good class A EVPs. And I really believe it's because George and I are so connected, and these spirits, they know that we're there to help them. We're not negative.
Mhm.
We disrespect them. We don't provoke them. I mean, think about it. If you were as a living person, if someone was treating you with disrespect or provoking you or calling you a whore or something like that, are you going to want to talk to them? Absolutely not.
No way.
It's the same in the
No.
spirit world. Like, they
Yeah.
smarter than we are. They know our intentions. Even if we act like, we're all positive, if we're really not, if we're they know, and they're not going to want to interact with you. So I really believe that is why George and I get a lot of the
Mhm.
stuff that we get. And we don't put anything out there unless we can listen to it and right away know what it says. I don't like to run it through all of the, software and everything, because if you have to do that, like, what's the point? If you have to put earphones on and you can barely hear it, we only put it out if it is like plain as day. And the same with
Yeah.
pictures. If you have to circle something and put arrows towards it to show people
Yeah.
what it is, like, don't put it out there. I
No.
mean, that's my opinion. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't
Yeah.
agree with it. That's just our opinion. Um, and a lot of photos are, I know a lot of people that put out photos that it's not anything. It's either matrixine or pareidolia. Like, you're going to see a
Yeah.
face and something that, you're going to look for something you recognize in anything. So of course a lot of things will look like a face when it really isn't. That's why
Yeah.
when we put pictures out, we take a series of pictures in the same area. And if there's one picture in there that has something that none of the other pictures have, then we're going to post the picture, and we're going to post the picture that we took before it or after it, showing that
Yeah.
there was nothing there. You know, so if it's not obvious, we don't, if none of our evidence or possible evidence is obvious, we're not going to put it out there. And I know a lot of teams or investigators say, well, I don't post any of my evidence because, you know, I don't want people to rip it apart. Then what's the point of having it if you're not going to share it? You know, that's why we're in this
I
field.
agree. I agree. Yeah,
You know, it's that's why we're in
absolutely.
this. It's to find answers. If you're going to hold everything to yourself, then why even do it? You know,
Hmm.
I know para unity. That's not. I mean, I kind of hate that term because but it's kind of like asking for world peace. It's never going to happen. But
No.
you know, if you are true to yourself and you surround yourself with positive, like-minded people, and collaborate and work with other teams, I mean, it will be better. Like George and I were on a couple different teams, and each time it turned out bad. There was so much jealousy. Um, we got bullied by the first team we were on. We're still continuing to be bullied by them. Um, and it's just because I feel that they were jealous. Like George's abilities were starting to blossom at that time. We were getting good EVPs. They're actually the ones that accused us of faking EVPs. And, you know, to my face, they say, oh, no, we've never told anybody that. Well, I have tons of people coming to me telling me that they've been told that. So, you know,
Yeah.
so there's we don't want to be on a team. George and I, we are our own team. We will work with other
Hmm.
investigators that are positive like us. We will not work with anybody who is negative or um, provokes, because you know what, you don't want to bring that kind of stuff into an investigation.
No.
If you bring any kind of negativity, you that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract the negative. Like the
Yeah.
team that us, you know, they're always complaining how all of their cases are dark or they're demons. Okay, well,
Yeah.
what do you expect? You know, that's in your heart. That's what you are. You're dark. And
Yeah.
another thing about demons. This is just my opinion, but there really aren't that many demons. It's mostly
No.
all negative entities. Like, just like, you know, if you're living and you get frustrated or angry, you're going to lash out, you're going to slam things, you're going to, you know, say F you, you're going to lash out. Just the same with the spirit. They get frustrated because they're trying to communicate or let people know they're there and no one's paying attention. So,
Yeah.
honestly, that's what I feel. We have never come across anything demonic.
No.
So it, that's just my opinion. And again, a lot of people are probably gonna disagree, but that's my experience, my opinion.
That's their problem. It
Exactly.
is.
And
Yeah.
all these people that all of a sudden are popping up and they're demonologists. Really? You're a
Oh my
demonologist?
God. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Don't talk about it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. I do
Mm.
agree on that. I do agree. Here in the Netherlands, and now I'm get some people over my back, but I don't care. Um, so much demonologists, one of a sudden, and this one is working for the church, and that one is working for the church, and that one is an exorcist, and the only one in the Netherlands. Well, I don't, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
No.
No.
Why do we need so many demonologists? There really aren't that many demons. So,
No.
you know, it just yeah, I don't understand it, but you know,
I see people laughing.
yeah, I know and you know, and also another a thing that is, you know, is all the bullies that are it's
Oh
terrible.
my God.
You know,
Yeah.
like I said, George and I have been bullied. We've been dealing with these same bullies for 3 years. And a lot of
Yeah.
people say, you know, well, why don't you just ignore it? Well, we've tried that. we've blocked these people, we've ignored them, but they keep popping up like a bad case of herpes. It's just,
Hmm.
and now they're doing it to others. And they finally did it to some people and when they started bullying us, we were very new to the paranormal community. So we were like, oh my God, these people are like trying to discredit us and nobody even knows who we are. And, we were, of course, we're not going to stand up to them because number one, no one knew who we were and they're
Yeah.
spreading lies to us. Well, now that we've
Yeah.
been in this, longer and we know a lot more people and we're a lot more known, we're not afraid to stand up to them. And the people that they're now bullying are actually well known in the community, and it, it's going to come out what they've done, and names are going
Yeah,
to
for
be named.
sure.
And, unfortunately, that's what needs to be done for them to stop. Because if you're going to get bullied and you're not going to stand up for yourself and say anything, the bullies are just going to continue because they
Hmm.
got, we
Yeah,
even like one of them even told George that he wishes that he dies of cancer. George is a cancer
I
survivor.
heard that. Yeah,
That's a
I
terrible thing
heard
to,
it. It's
and all
it's
of,
horrible.
yeah, and all of because of a misunderstanding. Like so this is what happened. They were having a paracon at this haunted hotel, and do you know who Elizabeth Saint is?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was one of the speakers. Well, about 3 months, 2 or 3 months before their event was going to happen, I threw together an investigation at the same hotel for George's birthday. It was just a group of friends. We didn't charge money. Um, and one of our friends had Elizabeth Saint come. Nobody knew. He was the only one that knew she was coming. So it was a complete surprise. Um, and so she spent the weekend with us investigating. Well, when this other group found out, oh my God, the threats, like they threatened to end us. This is when they told George they wish he dies of cancer. They started calling him an Oompa Loompa. Poor Elizabeth Saint witnessed all of this.
Oh my.
She saw all of the comments on Facebook, all of the posts on Instagram saying the end is coming for you, and she couldn't even believe it. It was embarrassing for us. Like here we just meet Elizabeth Saint and all this is going on, and we didn't even
Hmm.
another call through. We didn't even do anything. We didn't even know she was going to come. So, and one of them was like, oh, if I had a car, I'd be driving up there right now. And I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, it was very upsetting. And so she witnessed this. Everyone, the 12 people that were with us, witnessed all of this. She even accused people that weren't even there um, about this. And then they were saying that we were ruining their event. How are we ruining their event? It was a private investigation with a group of friends. Elizabeth Saint came as a surprise, and I have to say
Hmm.
she's amazing. She is the most down to
Yes,
earth,
yes.
sweetest person ever. I mean, George is still in contact with her, and she gives him a lot of pointers. She taught us how to table tip, which I think is amazing. It kind of freaks you out at
Hmm.
first. It's pretty awesome. Um, but after all this, Elizabeth didn't even want to go to her event because of all of this, but she couldn't get out of it. And I've been told that, she was treated terribly by those people at the event, which is horrible. So we've been dealing with this. And then, George was on Ghost Adventures recently. And then
Yeah.
that again stirred stuff up with them because, God forbid that we're actually getting out there and, doing things and being successful and getting known. Oh, that was, yeah. And then she started bullying others. And now these people are actually going to, I think, expose her. So it's, and then when a,
It's for
just,
the best. It's for the
yeah,
best. Yeah.
well, and just recently, when a friend posted about, how someone told George that they hope he dies of cancer, the person
Hmm.
it he started bullying her and take down that post saying that he's going to sue her and all this other stuff. Like, for slander. I'm like, I guess they don't understand what the definition of slander is
No.
telling lies about someone. Nothing we've ever said is a lie. It's what happened to us. It's our experience with
Yeah.
them. I've never, bashed them. I just tell people, well, this is what they did to us. People can make their own
Yeah.
opinion. And I'm just
Yeah.
happy that people are starting to realize that, their true colors. They're starting. So, that's what happens. It's karma. And, we keep saying,
I agree
yeah, you need to be the
completely.
Oh yeah, and you need to make sure you're the same person in public or in private as you are in public. My card I pulled
Yeah.
today was just that. I am me. You have to be yourself. So these people, their public persona is a facade, and people are starting to realize that. So, it really, makes me happy, and people just need to, know that you have to stand up to these yourself. And some people are like, well, you're a light
Yeah.
worker, you're supposed to be about positivity and light, and how come you're saying all this? Well, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up for my friends for what's right.
Yeah.
you know you can excuse my language, but you can be a light
Yeah.
worker and still tell someone to fuck off.
Yeah.
So you person can only take so much. um
Yeah.
so I'm glad that and that tonight, George is a co-host on a show with Christina,
Yeah.
and it's a 3-hour show, and they're going to be talking about this, and they're going to be, people can come on that have been bullied, and they can tell their stories, and George and Christina are going to decide if these bullies will come to light on a show in a couple weeks. So,
Okay.
it's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. our time. I think that's like 2 a.m. your time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Around
but
that
it's
time,
but you can
I
watch.
did set the clock.
Yeah, but you guys can go
Yeah,
back and
I'll
watch.
be in. Yeah,
So
I want to know. Yeah,
yeah.
because I ended up with Samantha because of some things what happened over here. She got a very nasty mail. She had to look over her shoulders and be careful and don't contact persons. And she asked me, does it include you? So I dropped out. I was listening to people and putting some things together. I had personal some issues with some guy. I'm not gonna tell who he is, but everyone knows. And something snapped. Something snapped because Samantha, oh my God, she's such a wonderful young lady,
Mhm.
and she isn't grown up to a person like that. So I called him out and told him, come and take me. And
Right.
now he's afraid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these bullies, they pick on, I mean, it's just like when you're in elementary school and the bullies pick on the weak kids, or
Yeah.
they're eventually going to bully the wrong people. I mean, and if we start standing up to these bullies and calling them out by name, they're going to think twice about bullying someone, and people are going to know their true colors. I mean, if you have proof that you've been bullied, if you have like screenshots or text messages or emails, send them to Christina George. She will call these
Yeah.
people by name if she has proof. Um, that's the only way, unfortunately, they're going to be stopped,
Yeah.
because they're just going to keep doing it because nobody says anything. It's kind of just like being raped. If you don't stand up for yourself and say something, it's going to continue to happen to somebody else. So we all need to
For
band
sure. Yeah.
and stand up to these people. I mean, it's sad that there's so much bullying and drama in this community. You know, we're I mean, most of us, some people just want to be famous, but most of us are in
Mm,
this to help people and to find answers. I mean, we all want to know if there's life after death. You know, if you
yes.
can help someone, like if someone's dying, and if you can help them understand that, what, this isn't the end. You're just moving on to a different dimension or a different life. it's going to help, you know. Or if someone recently passed away and their family members are upset, if you can help them know that their family members are still with them, I mean, that's all really
Yeah,
what we want. So if we can all, I mean, we don't all have to agree with each other. I mean, that's what being adults is. You can still disagree with someone and still have respect for them and be friends with them. I mean, we disagree with our friends and we talk about it, and you know, we look at it from each other's point of view, and we continue to be friends. Um, we don't block them or start bashing them or bullying them because of it. I
no,
mean, we're adults. We need to start acting like it.
yeah,
Um, you
I
know,
agree.
so if we can,
Totally.
yeah, and if we can, if we're all in this for the same reason, you know, we all have different abilities. If we could all start learning to respect one another, no competitions, um, and just collaborate and, you know, encourage people, support them. I mean, this, it will be so much better. And all this crap that's going on takes away from the reason that we're doing this. Um,
Yeah,
so it needs to come to a stop. And I feel, unfortunately, the only way it's going to stop, I mean, and it won't even completely stop either, but
no, no.
less people will be bullies if they think they're going to get called out and the whole community will know who they are.
Yeah,
Um,
I did it private because I seen some live streams, and there weren't called any names, but everyone knew
mhm.
which person was meant.
We
So
all know.
what?
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah, what's the point of telling anyone that I have a mental illness? Okay, if you want to for me to have a mental illness, okay, I don't care, I don't mind. Tell people what you want to tell about me, but don't be that bully.
Hmm.
Some things did hurt me, and this morning I broke down in tears because of all the shit I saw around the group of people I work with now. And it's so unfair. They
Yeah,
don't deserve it, not at all.
yeah.
And yeah, if you keep quiet, no one knows. And I know it's tough to look at all day. Some people get down by seeing it. All about the bullying, all about the name calling. This person is saying that, and that person is saying that. I get it. But if we shut up, nothing will change. Nothing.
Well, and the worst part is when the bully actually goes on their Facebook page or someone's Facebook live feed and claims that they're
Hmm.
that are being bullied. They turn it around to make it look like, you know, we are bullying them.
Yeah,
It, like, standing up for yourself or your friends is not being a bully. You know, what you when you tell someone that they want you to die of cancer, that's being a
that,
bully. You know, they don't know what
yeah,
the definition of bully is, obviously. So, you know, these people have been like all of a sudden on their page, oh, you know, that they're the ones that are being bullied. Well,
hmm,
that's not true. And, you know, it's going to come out what they've done. And
yeah,
it's not just us. I know so many people over the years that have been bullied by them. I mean, I'm a good friend with one of them, and the reason we became friends is because both got bullied by the same person. And the
yeah,
bully would talk shit about my friend to me, and then she would talk shit about me to my friend. And then we came together and we found out that all this stuff that's been being said by us by the same person. Um, you know, and then we became like her number one and number two enemies because she knew we were friends, and she was probably like, oh shit, they know the jig is up. They know what I've been saying behind their backs, you know. So you have to be careful who you talk about to people, because
yeah.
you know it's going to backfire. Eventually it's going to come around and bite you in the ass. And I am so happy that I've been waiting for this day for 3 years. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
and
imagine. I really
yeah,
can. Yeah.
blocking them doesn't help because you'll have friends sending you screenshots about things that they've said or mocking pictures of, that they put on their page. And so blocking them, it doesn't do any good because the only thing is that they're not going to see what you post. You're not. And then also blocking people have so many fake profiles on Facebook, so blocking them,
Yeah.
or they have little minions, they're little followers. It's like I've
Yeah.
had people message me that I don't even know that are friends with these people, saying, "Oh, you're so mean. Why?" I'm like one of them just the other day sent me a something on Facebook Messenger, and before I ever had a chance to open it and read it, Facebook had deleted it because it was so offensive. And then when I tried to
Oh
go
my
to this
God.
person, yeah, and then when I try to go to this person's profile, she has me blocked. So, I'm just like, really, come on. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, trying to ignore it and blocking people, that doesn't work because they will send
No.
people at you. I mean, I've had their little minions trying to, discredit some of the our posts that we put of our possible evidence. And, it's just, come on, like, get a life. Worry about yourself, and really, you need to reevaluate yourself and why you're in this. Obviously, if you're doing something like that, you're not in it to help people. You're in it for yourself, you're in it for fame. And you want to try to get anybody out of your way that is doing, I guess, I don't want to say better
Yeah.
than you as it sounds like a competition,
Yeah.
but someone who is doing it for the right reasons, someone that, people really like. They don't want those people around. Especially when especially when it's someone you've done something so horribly to, that they're afraid that if you get out there and you get well known, that you're going to put them on blast. Well, guess what? It's happening. Um,
Yeah. It is. And then I'm not even well known. So,
we aren't either, but we're getting more well known. We're getting to know a lot of people, in the area
yeah.
we live in, so we're getting more out there. And by George's, PPP and his warning videos and
Yeah.
my videos, people know who we really are. And, and I think they like us. I hope they like us, but,
Why not?
but,
We're
I
beautiful people. Yeah.
think,
And a great soul and a wonderful energy. So, why not?
yeah. And the darkness is always going to try to put out the light. So that's what these
Yes.
bullies are doing. And you know what they don't realize is the light is always going to push out the darkness. So,
At
you
the
know,
end, we are gonna win. Yeah.
exactly. We just need to keep being true to ourselves and doing what we're doing, and don't let those bullies get you down. I mean, especially for the new people that are coming into the paranormal and they see all this crap going on. It's embarrassing. Like, we're adults. We sit here and we excuse me, say we're doing this to help people. We're doing this for answers. For the people that aren't in it for that reason, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. You know,
No. If you're
yeah,
screaming out, I want to be